That's really all I know now. Okay. Hey guys, today we're going to do page 6 in our book of hearts, and the only thing I know so far is that I'm going to do this piece. This piece here is actually the packaging for the top of the book that I'm using. If you want to know the book I'm using, if you've missed that video, that's the very first video. And I'm going to use some scrapbook paper. So I'm going to glue down scrapbook paper on the top and on the back. And then I have some fabric here that I want to play with, and so far that's as far as I've gotten. So I'm gonna get started on gluing this down, and then I'll figure out what I want to do next. I've got my backside covered already. I kind of fibbed, but I didn't mean to. I forgot to tell you something. I did know in advance what I want to do as far as I want to use a sewing machine, but that's about the extent of it. So that's why I chose this piece here, because it's thinner and I can get the machine through it easy. It's not real thick chipboard or anything like that. And the reason I'm covering both sides is because I don't know exactly how I'm going to do the front with the fabric. So in case anything shows, I want it to be a piece of scrapbook paper. I don't want it to be packaging. I might get away with it if it's just the edge showing, but I'm not going to take that chance. And the reason I covered the back is just so the back's pretty. Okay, so I didn't mean to leave that out. It's just I wanted to get started and I kind of forgot to tell you that. So we are going to use the sewing machine today, and we're going to stitch through this. I'm going to let this dry for a little bit though, so I don't run my machine through something really gooey, although I have a needle on there just for the gooey stuff. And I will take the time while this is drying to figure out what I want to do with the fabric, how I want to apply it. So just get your papers glued down on each side. If you're not able to use a sewing machine, you can fake it out with a hand stitch. I wouldn't try to hand stitch through this and fabric. I would just hand stitch through my fabric and then glue it on top of here. That way you don't have to worry about breaking your fingers. And you don't even have to stitch anything. You can just glue and be done with it. You don't have to have machine stitching. I just like the look of it. I like the threads and I like the stitch looks. And I'm going to use black thread so that it shows up really well. And I know I want to make some hearts because that's the whole goal. Put a heart on every page. And so the hearts are going to be out of the fabric. That's it. That's really all I know now. Okay. All right, let's let this dry for a minute. I'm going to get my fabric set up and we'll figure out what to do with that. I want a template to cut my fabric from. So I took a piece of book paper and I took my piece that I'm working with and I put it down on here and I marked out the size that I have to work with. I just put some little dash marks. And then I removed this, and then I took my paper and folded it in half, and I traced a heart, half of a heart. So when I cut it out, it should be similar on both sides. Not that it really matters. I just wanted to kind of give us a good chance of having a decent heart. And I'm going to cut it out. And I can alter it from here. It may be a little too big. I'm not really cutting on the line I made, so it's probably going to be a little too big. But I want to see what this looks like. And we've got a little piece to work with later if we want. So we've got a heart here. I want to see what this looks like on here. I kind of like that. So what I want to do is take my first piece of fabric and I'm going to cut out a heart. It's really not going to matter where I cut it out. I'm mainly just going for the colors here because there's going to be something on top of it. So I'm just going to pin that here. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to go get my good scissors for the fabric. This is gunky scissors. I'm going to pin my heart down and I'm just going to cut out my heart shape out of my fabric and then I'll be back. All right, I've got my heart cut out and I'm going to lay it right here and see if I like it. And I do. I think it's really cute. So then I'm going to take another piece of fabric and I'm going to cut out another heart. I think I'll use the same template except that once I get it cut out, I will fold my fabric in half and cut it smaller. And that way it'll fit inside this heart. So go ahead, if you've made a template, and just go ahead and cut out 2 more hearts out of 2 more different fabrics. And then you can cut them down to size when you're ready. Or you want to make another template for 2 more hearts, you can. Then you have these hearts to work with in the project later on. But I'm going to go ahead and use the same template. So I'll be back when I have my other 2 hearts cut out of these pieces of fabric here. Alrighty, I've got my other two hearts cut out. So now what I want to do is I want the next heart to be smaller than this one. So I'm just going to take the heart I cut out of this color here and fold it in half. And it's not going to be the exact same shape. I don't really want it the same shape, but if it's close, that's fine too. I just know I want it smaller. So I'm going to cut down the heart size and hope for the best since we're doing this freehand. I'm shaking because I am cold. It is rainy and cold here today in Tennessee, and I'm freezing. I should put on a jacket or a sweater. There we go. Now I've got the color here that I wanted. I've got this on top, and I want this one to be even smaller to fit inside this heart. So we're going to cut that one down too. And it's got to be smaller, so always start a little bigger, because then if you mess up, you have some leeway. Not that I did. I think I did. I think I started exactly where I needed to. Let's see. Yeah, actually I got lucky. All right, I like that. So we're not done layering. We're going to put something else on top here. I just don't know what yet. Like I said, I only got so far in my brain and then it stopped. So let me figure that out. You know, I could cut this down and put the book paper here. I don't really want to do that. Okay, I opted for a little heart with light pink. It's a light pink and white polka dot. So that's what I did there. Now I'm torn now about what to do. I don't want to sew through all this through this piece of paper here. So I think I'm just going to sew through my hearts. I was just going to use black thread and just scribble all over it. I'm torn between that and actually trying to go around a heart shape. I really don't know if I want a heart shape. I think I want it scribbled, and I think I want it in black. And it might look terrible, and if it looks terrible, we'll start over, but we're going to try. So what I'm going to do is go to my sewing machine, and I'll lay this in my sewing machine, and I'm just going to run it all around any different direction and get these attached together. And that way I can glue this on easier. So just line your hearts up. Now, if you don't want to sew, like I said, you can glue these down individually, or you can hand stitch around, or just whatever you want to do. It's okay. It doesn't have to be exactly like I'm doing it. Alrighty, here's our heart. I did go around in a heart shape for a little bit, but I decided it was just not my thing, so I went all over the place, and I love it. So then what I did was I went into the closet over there. You can't see it. And that's where I keep some fabric, and I pulled out some tulle, a pink and a green, and I cut off 2 strips, and this is about 18 inches long, maybe 20, 22 inches long. And I put the 2 strips together, and then I folded them in half like this, and then I'm going to fold them in half again like this. And so I've got them bunched like this together. And then I have a piece of scrap here, and I'm going to take a piece of it. Let me just cut a little piece off. I'm going to wrap it around the center. And then I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to run a stitch in the center. Right here, just stitching it on. And then I'm going to pull these apart like this. And cut the ends, actually. Let's go ahead and cut the ends now. Okay. Alright, I've got my little tulle sewn together. I left the little strings on there. I love that. So I think that's really cute. So the next thing I want to do is I took a piece of ephemera that I had in my stash, and it's not one I chose to work with in this project because I didn't see anything in there I liked, so I went through my other drawer and I found this. And it's not that it goes well with this, what it says doesn't go well with this project, but the colors do, and you're not going to see the center anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down in the center of my piece here. I'm going to get it as centered as we can. It's not maybe going to be perfect, but that's okay. That's good enough. And then I want to make the holes in my page here before I go any further. That's really kind of crooked. Before the glue dries, I can move it just a little bit, and that's good. Okay, I'm going to mark my page here. And we'll do it about right there. Let's go ahead and make our holes. And there it went flying across the room. I'll probably look for it for hours, and Allie will find it in 2 seconds. I lost both of them. Okay, so I've got that down now. All right, so on the back, before we put this down, on the back, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue my heart template down. And it'll be there for journaling or for whatever we want it to be for later. So I'm just going to glue it down and be done with it. Then I'll have to make some more holes. I should have put this down first, but I forgot. Okay, I'm going to dry this a minute. Then I'm going to put my hole punch here and make another hole. I want to distress my edges a little bit before I put this together. So I'm just going to take Stays-On. It's permanent. I'm not using the Tim Holtz one. I'm using black. And I don't know if I even like black. We may have to redo this. I thought black would be better because of the stitching on the heart. Maybe I don't like this color black. Let me get my Tim Holtz black. Hold on. Okay, this is black soot. I like that better. Okay, I'm going to glue my heart down now. And I'm going to put it on in a funky way because if I put it down like this, it covers the hole. And if you put it in your book, the little ring is going to be right here in the way and push this up, and it's going to, I don't like it. And if I put it down here at an angle like this, it won't work right. So I'm going to drop it down on the page and angle it like this. It's going to come off the page a little bit, but my holes will be exposed, and then I'll like it better. And I'm going to use wet glue for this, Aleene's Tacky Glue. Some of my strings got hidden back here, but that's okay. And I didn't put glue down on the whole heart because I wasn't wanting to go over the edge here. I don't want any glue back here. So it's got enough on there to hold it down. Okay, and then this little thing here, I want to pull my little tool pieces apart and spread them out. And then I went into my drawer, little flowers, and I pulled out this flower here, and I'm going to stick it in the center. So that means you're not going to see this very much. So really using that black didn't do much good for me because you're not going to see it. But if I offset it just a little bit, you can see it. And I'm going to glue that down. And then I'm just going to wrap my little stem around the rest of this. Okay. And then I'm going to glue this down. Now this is going to be hanging over here on this side where my book's going to be folding, and I guess I can't really avoid that unless I move this over here like that. I don't really want to. I kind of want it right here. I'm just going to have to live with it. I think that'll work. Okay, I'm going to hold this for a second and let it dry for a minute. Okay, one last thing I want to do is I pulled off a little phrase from my little Cosmo Cricut tiny text. I wonder if they still make these because I'd like to get another sheet of them because I use these. Anyway, I want to put a little something up here. My eye can go down here to the tip of my heart, and this is a little bear up here. So I'm going to put this up here, a little off-centered, just right there. It just says think different. And I'm not going to distress it. I'll put a little bit of pencil line around it. Carry it out there. There we go. Okay. Do I want to do anything else? I don't think I do. You can't go two-dimensional on your book. I do have a little leeway because the book will be about that thick when we're done, and most of my pages so far have been very thin, so I do have a little leeway, but you can't go too thick. So let's look at this together here. We didn't do that yesterday, I don't think. So we've got several pages down. Page 1, 2, this was 3, 4, or I think 3, 4, maybe it's 3, 4, doesn't really matter, 5, and then 6. So as you're flipping through your book, this isn't done yet. That's not done yet. We're not going to do anything on that one. And then you've got this page. I love it. And if I have to, I can squish my flower down flatter, which won't bother me a bit. And if I have to remove it, I can remove it, but that will bother me a bit. So I don't want to remove my flower. Alrighty, so I think that's all we're going to do today for page 6. And I will see you for the next video for page 7. So get a good look at that. Just remember, when you have things that you wouldn't normally use, like this, I wouldn't have known what to do with this because I don't relate to this, but the color is perfect, and so it just worked out perfectly for this project. So you can use your things in different ways. You don't have to display everything. This didn't have to be shown, the stuff on it. It's hidden. I see a little bit of text here. Don't know what it says. See the design and the color? Works perfect for me. All right, guys, I'll see you for page number 7. Bye-bye.